Okay, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat at panibagong reaction video sa nangyari ngayong araw na ito patungkol dito kay House Speaker Martin Romualdez na nag-step down na raw bilang House Speaker. Okay? Na after raw, di umano, after siya nag-step down ay pinare-resign raw siya ni Bongbong Marcos. Gaano ba ito katotoo? Now, i-confirm ito ngayon dito sa interview nitong si Puno na in-interview nito ni Karen Davila. Okay? Pakinggan natin ang buong behind the scene na mga pangyayari na isiniwalat niya kay Karen Davila at malalaman natin kung talaga bang nag-step down, pagkatapos ng step down ay pinare-resign ni Bongbong Marcos. At dito natin malalaman after he will be resigning, kung si Romualdez ay haharapin ba niya ang mga allegations laban sa kanya? At ano ang mangyari kay Zaldico? At ano ang mangyari sa, for example, if proven na guilty sila, anong mangyayari sa pera na ninakaw ng mga government officials? Anong mangyari? Masauli ba yun? At yun na nga, ano rin mangyari sa presidente natin na si Bongbong Marcos? Mapagkakatiwalaan pa ba siya ng taong bayan? Okay? Yun ang alamin natin ngayon. At heto pa, itong si Representative Kiko Barzaga ay pumunta pala ito sa opisina ni Martin Romualdez kasi gusto niyang mag-congratulate na sabi niya, graduate na raw si Martin Romualdez. So gusto niyang puntahan. Pero ang sabi ng gwardiya, hindi siya pinapapasok sa opisina ni Martin Romualdez. Mamaya pakinggan natin at panoorin natin yung ambush interview nitong si Kiko Barzaga. Okay? So yun po ang mga pag-uusapan natin ngayon guys. Pero bago ang lahat, help me po muna na i-like at saka i-share itong video na ito para guys kakalat ito sa taong bayan. Okay? Sabay-sabay muna tayong mag-like and share sa Donmar TV. Itong video na ito, like and share. 1, 2, 3, go! Okay, naka-like and share na ba lahat? And also guys, sa mga bago pa lang dito sa aking channel, mag-subscribe na po kayo para lagi kayong updated sa ating mga balita. And at the same time, yung mga cellphone ninyo, ma-notify yan kung meron tayong breaking news, bagong uploads, o kung nagla-live ang ating channel. Ma-notify kayo lahat dyan. Kaya mahalaga po na mag-subscribe tayo sa Donmar TV. 1, 2, 3, go! Ayan, nakasubscribe na ba lahat? Okay, so unahin muna natin i-play ang balita patungkol po dito sa kay Romualdez, ang kanyang pag-step down bilang House Speaker. Heto po yung nangyari. Pasok!
House Speaker Martin Romualdez has informed President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. of his decision to resign from his post. That's according to Deputy Speaker Ronaldo Puno. The Deputy Speaker said Romualdez will step aside and face the allegations against him in connection with the flood control anomalies. Puno adds that Romualdez may address the House in plenary later today to explain his resignation. Several names have been floated as possible successors, including Bacolod Representative Albi Benitez, Navotas Representative Toby Tiangco, Cebu Representative Duke Frasco, and Deputy Speaker Faustino Boji D. House Speaker
So marami ngayong kumakalat na mga pangalan na papalit kay Martin Romualdez. Okay? So, yun po, confirm na nag-step down na siya. Anong reaksyon natin dyan? Siguro, nag-step down na itong si Martin Romualdez kasi hindi na po niya kaya ang mga pangyayari. Una, na-mention niya ang kanyang pangalan dito sa mga diskaya. Okay? Na-mention ang pangalan niya na binibigyan siya ng 25% sa mga projects na kailangan magbigay ng mga diskaya. At si Zaldico rin, nabanggit rin. Kaya ba si Zaldico ay hindi bumalik dito sa Pilipinas kasi ayaw niyang managot dito yung mga aligasyon? At ngayon, ang tinuturo lahat ngayon, kasi wala si Zaldico, lahat nakaturo lahat kay Martin Romualdez. Kasi kung ako this is my own opinion lang. Kung wala talaga akong kasalanan, di ako mag-step down. I will prove them wrong. Ako po yung type of person na bahala na kung ipa-step down nyo ako hanggat mapatunayan nyo yung lahat na malinis talaga ako. Pero in the case of Martin Romualdez, instead of proving them, totoo. Ito yung advice ko ni Martin Romualdez. Martin, kung talagang malinis ka, no? Do not step down. Hindi ka sana nag-step down, kundi pinuprove mo sa taong bayan na wala kang kasalanan. Pinuprove mo sa House of Representatives, sa taong bayan, lahat-lahat na ito yung dokumento, malinis ako. Ganon sana ang ginawa mo. Pero if you cannot prove that, tama lang siguro yung decision mo na nag-step down ka. 'Di ba? Pero, I don't know, enough ba yan na nag-step down ka? Kasi, ang dapat sa'yo, alisin talaga sa House of Representatives kung totoo man ang mga aligasyon laban sa'yo. Yun lang ang reaction ko dyan, ha? Heto, ipapakita ko sa inyo ang video ni Kiko Barzaga na gusto niya sanang pumunta doon sa loob ng opisina ni Martin Romualdez. Heto, pakinggan nyo.
Pasok sa office speaker, totoo po ba?
Medyo mainit na yung ulo niya Pero kakausapin ko ulit. And
gusto niya pumasok sa opisina ni Martin Romualdez pero medyo mainit pa yung ulo niya Yan yung believe ako dito kasi walang takot Kung anong gagawin, pasok. Pumasok ka ito sa opisina ni Sandro Marcos tapos sinira niya yung pintuan tapos sabi niya, I want to be the House Speaker. Ganyan, I lack the confidence.
hopefully we might be able to get inside and have a personal heart-to-heart talk.
Anong paliwanag? Anong paliwanag?
Hindi kasi may okay. Hindi, sabi lang ng guard doon na a private meeting, nag-sorry siya sa akin. Sabi niya hindi ako makakapasok sa office ni Romualdez. And I said, that's fine, you're just doing your job. It's okay, but just please tell Martin Romualdez that...
Kung dito lang tingin ko.
Yes. Pakisabi lang kay Martin Romualdez na nabaltaan kung gusto niya akong kausapin last week and I'm open to having a private conversation with him. And I like to congratulate him on his graduation.
Gusto niya makipagharap-harapan na mag-usap sila ni Martin Romualdez. Ganyan ang confidence, di ba? Kaya walang prangkahan, di ba? If you don't like me, I don't like you, mag-congratulate ako sa'yo. At least, you have done your job. Ginawa mo ang lahat pero nag-step down ka kasi ikaw yung pinagbibintangan. That's hindi yung kagaya ng ibang mga kongresista na plastikan dito, ang ganda ng ngiti sa in front, pero, ay nako, kasalanan nyo, sa totoo lang, kasalanan rin ng mga kongresista bakit nyo pinili si Martin Romualdez sa 20th Congress. Bakit nyo pinili yan? Na alam ng taong bayan, galit ang taong bayan dyan sa Romualdez na yan. Still, pinili ninyo. Kayo ring mga representatives at kung mga kongresista dyan ang may kasalanan dyan sa totoo lang.
House Speaker siya.
Pero si incoming speaker, makakausap niya?
Hindi ka pa nakakausap. But I'd like to...
Pero nandiyan daw siya sa loob
Malay mo ba ako yung incoming speaker?
Pumasok pa rin kayo?
Well, there's always hope.
Ano mang expected mangyari mamaya sa plenary?
Plenary, well, we have no expectations. But if ever they elect another speaker that is... Kasi posible yung magiging bagong speaker ngayon ay yung pro-admin si Boji D. Deputy Speaker siya ni Romualdez.
Ito ang ayaw ko. Kung ang kukunin na House Speaker ay mga kasamahan, kaalyado pa rin ni Martin Romualdez, useless yan. Tama itong sinabi niya. Na kung mga kaalyado lang ni Martin Romualdez, the same problem, uulit at uulit na naman yung problema na yan. Di ba? Dapat sana, yung yung House Speaker na gusto ng taong bayan. Di ba? Kayong mga kongresista dyan, makinig kayo sa mga constituents ninyo kung sino ang gusto nilang maging House Speaker. At yun ang ilagay natin dyan. Kung ako dyan, si Paulo Pulong Duterte ang House Speaker natin dyan para tapos lahat ng mga korupsyon dyan.
Feeling ko pag siya yung naging speaker, mauulit yung issue na to next year kasi parehas lang sila ni Romualdez. Both under Marcos, walang mangyayari dito. We'll go to the same problems if we elect the same people.
Pero hindi kayo in-invite ni incoming Speaker Bo JD para sa meeting today? Kasi ang daming congressman dito na...
hindi niya ako in-invite pero hopefully pag nakita ko siya sa plenary, we can talk about his future programs and plans. At kung sakaling ma-convince niya ako na mababago niya ang administrasyon at ang House of the People, then maybe I will also support him in the speakership. But if I deem him worse than myself, then I will still vote for myself, even if I'm the only one supporting myself.
So ang paka nyo lang dito today, kaya kayo pumunta rin sa office speaker para sana makausap si Martin?
Gusto lang mag-hi kay Martin and say, musta? Musta? Congratulations, bye-bye na bye-bye Crockwood. Sorry. Okay. Congratulations and bye-bye. I hope you enjoy your retirement.
Bye-bye. I hope you enjoy your retirement. Kasi hindi lang siya hindi lang mag-step down bilang House Speaker. Resign talaga, 'di ba? So tama itong si Barzaga. Useless pa rin kapag kaalyado nila ang magiging House Speaker. Sana mapalitan 'yan ng sometimes itong ring mga kongresista at mga representatives dyan sa House of Representatives, pinipili kasi nila, kayo rin ang may kasalanan. Bakit pinili nyo si House Speaker Martin Romualdez? Pinili nyo si Speaker dahil, dahil binibigyan kayo ng budget. Yan ang hirap sa inyo. Mahiya-hiya naman kayo, binoto kayo ng mga constituents ninyo para iserbisyo sila kung anong gusto nila. 'Di ba? So ano ginawa ninyo? Tayo ng flood control projects na mga hindi nakikita kasi ghost project. Mahiyaya naman kayo sa mga constituents niyo. At kayo rin mga audience ko sa Donmar TV. Kung kayo po'y nakikinig ngayon, kaya huwag kayong magpadala sa pera dahil ba binigyan kayo ng pera nung time ng election, binoto nyo naman. Diba? Ayan tuloy, nagka-problema tayong lahat. May kasalanan rin ang taong bayan dito Binoto nyo ang mga kongresista nyo na mga walang utak. Anong ginawa? Binoto si Speaker bilang binoto si Martin Romualdez bilang House Speaker. So ano nangyari? Lumalaganap ang korupsyon. Tayo pa rin. It really reflects us. Lahat-lahat. Diba? Wag kasi kayong bumoto ng yung mga alam ninyo na matunog lang yung pangalan. Iboto nyo ang isang kandidato basing on their performance. Yun sana. Hindi yung puro lang pa-cute sa pangalan nila. Di ba? At binoto nyo pa yung mga nagninegosyo ng mga construction. Tapos congressman, wala na, double kill na yun. Di ba? Makukurako talaga ang pera natin dyan. Ito, panoorin natin itong interview ni Puno, ang buong behind the scene na mga pangyayari patungkol po kay Martin Romualdez. Ito, Congressman Puno, pasok!
Alright, so, is Speaker Martin Romualdez resigning or is he taking a leave of absence?
Okay, well, about 3 weeks or so ago, Martin Romualdez convened the House party leaders, and he told us that he wanted to step aside. This is like 3 weeks ago, and he said that the reason for this was there's just too much controversy in the House already now, and it's affecting the work that everybody's doing. He says everybody's focused, of course, on the controversies on the flood control projects. And he felt that he needed to step aside and face the accusations and rumors regarding whatever was happening in the flood control area. Of course, the party leader said, we don't think that's a good idea. Please do not resign. And it went on for about another week and a half. Sometime last week...
sabi raw ng mga party leaders na, Martin Romualdez, please don't resign. Yan ang problema sa inyo eh. Si Martin Romualdez gusto niya mag-step down because he has to face the problem sa mga reklamo. Tama naman ginawa ni Martin Romualdez eh. Ito mga party leaders na ito, ayaw niyong mag-resign si Martin Romualdez para kasi nalulungkot kayo na hindi na kayo mabigyan ng budget, yun ba? Nagtatanong lang ako ha. Takot na kayo na wala na kayong budget? Tapos okay lang sa inyo kasi tanggap lang kayo ng budget. Wala kayong problema kasi merong Martin Romualdez ang sasalo lahat sa problema. Ganun ba? Di ba? Alam nyo na nga na gusto na niyang mag-step down kasi sira na ang pangalan niya. Hayaan nyo na. Kayo rin pala ang nagpapatagal dyan ni Martin Romualdez na ayaw mag-resign kasi sip-sip kayo ng sip-sip dito eh. Halik kayo sa puwet kasi.
One of the party leaders suggested that, Speaker, it's hard for us if you leave now because there's going to be just so much disorganization in the House already. So
wala kaming paki kung merong so much disorganization. Ang paki po namin, secure ang pera ng taong bayan.
Why don't you consider going on leave? No, in the House rules, a leave is allowed for the Speaker, and during his absence, the deputy speakers elect among themselves someone who will take over the functions of the Speaker. No, so it was there for a while. Last weekend, Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, evening, he texted me and he says, I think it's time for me to go. Says, thank you for your support. This last Saturday. I didn't see it until the following morning because apparently it's very late at night when he texted that. He must have been unable to sleep. So I discussed this with him the following morning and I told him, it may not be the best time. I think that we don't do these things when things are in total, confusion, which is partly the situation now. So he said, well, okay, let me think about it a little bit more. And so then Monday came and then he became more definite about it. So he says, I'm thinking I'll maybe at least go and leave and then maybe name some potential officers in charge or somebody that will take care of business while I'm on leave. So then he was talking about certain possibilities, Deputy Secretary Bojidi among them, no? And then yesterday morning, he calls me up again and he says, I'm going to see the president this afternoon at 3 p.m. He says, I think we're going to be discussing, my going on leave or leaving the house. He says, I think we need to settle this already, he says. I said, well, again, I said, our belief, our opinion among the House party leaders is, don't resign, just go and leave. No? And then think about it, and you can resign after if you think that that's the correct decision. So he goes to Malacanang, and then he calls for us to assemble at his office, the party leaders, at 4:30, and he arrives a few minutes after that. And then he tells us already, he says, he thanked everyone for working with him and spending energy and time to push forward the House agenda. Then he says, I told the president already that I'm resigning my position tomorrow, which is today. So we said, why not leave? He says, well, if I go on leave, he says, people will say, he's coming back. Oh, he's just on the side. He's still directing things. And so it's not going to solve the problem, he says. So if we're going to do this, we might as well cut clean, he said. And I want to do this also so that I can face all of these accusations. I'll go before any investigation, he says. I can defend myself. I'm not hiding anything. I'm not afraid of any inquiries, he says. So let's just do that, he said. And then I'll continue to be congressman. I'll serve the district. But I will leave all of these suspicions to all of you people. And he says, of course, I will help whenever you
Dapat resign talaga. Pati congressman, resign sana.
need me to. But it's time to turn the page, he says. And then I'm asking all of you to support the nominee that I have discussed already with our majority leader. He says it's Deputy Speaker Boji D.
Okay.
We were quiet for a while. No, nobody was reacting, but after a while, obviously, we just decided to accept his decision.
So, Congressman, you gave us the behind-the-scenes story. 3 weeks ago, he meets with all of you, thinks of going on leave. Yesterday, he has a meeting with Malacanang, and it became about resigning. Do you believe...
Sorry, 3 weeks ago, he said, I'm stepping aside. That was not
leave.
That leave came, the idea came last week from one of the party leaders. So, no, I think he was thinking about resigning already 3 weeks, at least 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Do you believe there was pressure from Malacanang for him to resign?
I think there was pressure from everywhere. There's media, there's social.
Pressure from all around, mga taong bayan, sa Malacanang, sa media, lahat, pressure lahat. Di ka pa mag-step down yan?
Media, of course, not everybody in the house is a believer. We have had problems with the executive branch, as you know. And so there have been a lot of issues that cause problems for the speaker. And these are very trying times. This is a difficult time in our political life.
Sa iyo lang, pero ang taong bayan, masaya kami. Sa inyo, maglungkot kayo.
I'm sure you also are seeing so many unprecedented things happening as I am now. So I think pressures for sure. Yeah, for sure.
But do you believe the speaker wanted to stay and President Marcos Jr. asked him to resign? Or he took it upon himself that with everything that's going on, I should resign or step aside?
Knowing the president also, I think, he probably would not want to cause, anxiety on anyone. So I cannot imagine him asking the speaker to resign, for example. I can't imagine that. I think the president, if I know him well enough, I think he allows you to process your thoughts, and he may guide you and lead you to certain decisions. But I really don't think that he would ask the speaker to resign. No. And as I said, it's not just the speaker himself. But even he tells me that his family have been telling him to just step aside. This is true not just for him, Karen, but for other congressmen as well, especially those that have been mentioned in all of these controversies. One of our colleagues has in fact put her children on a leave of absence from school because they are being harassed in school because their parents' name have appeared in this news. No, so. And I have
mga anak ba to ni Zaldico, sir?
No. In fact, congressmen that I think are probably not guilty of anything. No, but they were just included in the lists. No, and I imagine that the speaker's family has been subjected to the same kind of pressure. So, and I know for a fact that they have been asking him to resign, his family. No, at least step aside from the speakership because it's really a lot to take for the family, on a daily basis. Speaker Martin tells us that, it's okay with him because he grew up with this. No, I mean, when he was a young kid, they would go to breakfast and they would read newspapers, and it's all negative against their family, and it's been that way for a long time. So he says, I can take all of this, but I don't know that it's fair to subject my children to this. So that's one of the
Well,
things.
the children is one thing, but also the administration is another.
Correct.
I mean, the truth, Congressman, is he gives a bad name to the Marcos administration. That's feedback from analysts. Would you agree?
Well, I'll just give you a specific example. No, in this January this year, December and January, this is when the issue of the budget insertions erupted, and he was the one blamed. Okay, everybody was saying Romualdez. I mean, not Saldico, not anybody, Romualdez. No, but I knew then, no, in as early as January, that the Congress had submitted to the Senate the budget that was proper. No, I mean that it did not reduce the Department of Education budget. It kept the PhilHealth trust funds intact, and it in fact reduced the DPWH budget. Of course, the final Appropriations Act was the reverse. No, the trust fund was removed. The Department of Education was reduced, and then the DPWH was increased by a few hundred. Yun, no? So I knew then that it wasn't Congress and it wasn't him, because the enrolled copy of the bill was submitted.
But are you saying it wasn't? I mean, you saw Toby Tiangco's expose where Zaldico had insertions of
Yeah.
13 billion in one district.
Correct. No, that's true. All of that is true. I'm talking about the culpability of Martin Romualdez.
Okay.
So I was asking, why don't you explain this thing? Why don't you just explain everything? He says, no, I don't want to get into an argument with the Senate President, because he is doing many things for the President also. And I'll just swallow all of this. He says, anyway, I'm used to this. Ganyan eh. So anytime that he faces these kinds of things, he always says, I'm used to this. Now, this issue has been on his back for what, the past 7 months. Until I started to explain what happened in this thing, I think nobody was even talking about it. No, and I thought that it was not fair. No, and even over his objections, I started talking about this because he didn't want to get into any dispute with the Senate. But I think this is part of the reason why he has become so much a target for everyone. No, is that when something is an attack is made on the administration, and he is the target, he allows it to happen because.
Well, Congressman, I mean, I understand you work with him, but I think we need to hold our leaders accountable. He is the Speaker of the House. The budget emanates from the House. There are talks of ostentatiousness and extreme wealth, private planes, supposedly more than 10 houses in Forbes Park. I'm sorry I have to bring this up, but to defend the Speaker that he's a victim in all this, it's appalling to the Filipino people. At the end, he would not even explain the corruption in the budget that he allowed. The House passed it, Congressman. In the end, we are talking about the public being angry of the ostentatiousness and extreme wealth of Martin Romualdez, Zaldico. This is not the time of the wealth you and I have seen in past administrations. Galit na tayo nun kay GMA, kay ERAP, etc. This is a whole other level of alleged corruption.
Correct.
This could be the levels of Nepal.
Yeah.
That kind of anger, which I hope not. But at the end of the day, when you hear about homes abroad, I mean, Congressman, it's very difficult to defend Martin, who was in power, unless he submits his SALED. He explains. Stepping aside, I don't think is enough for the Filipino people.
Correct.
I mean, it's not personal to me. I'm not angry at him personally, but as a leader, this is inexcusable. Parang biktima pa siya na ang bait niya, gusto niyang tumabi.
No, actually, I think, the reason for his stepping aside is precisely because he wants to address and face all of this. Okay, so I think I'm not painting anyone as a victim here. I was just addressing that issue in terms of propaganda. No? I mean that when he is attacked, he doesn't always answer. So that is why gets blamed for some things that are really not his fault. Now, as to the things that are his fault, I guess that is why he is stepping aside now and not just going on leave so that he can face it. No, and I think it's good that he will face it. All of these things, the
But
house arrest,
Congressman,
yeah.
but why won't the insertions in the 2025 budget, why won't it be his fault? I mean,
Because
doesn't the buck stop with the leader?
I
Di ba
think
ano nang tinuturo natin, sir?
Well, here's the process of budget. As I explained earlier, the House version did not have the insertions. It went to the Senate. The Senate and the Congress had a bicameral committee. The bicameral committee was composed of many representatives. Then they decided to make it a small committee. The small committee was 4 people. Okay, Senate President Chis Escudero, Speaker Romualdez, Senator Grace Poe, and Congressman Saldico.
No.
That was the small committee. The small committee went into their meetings. This is where the insertions were put in, by the way.
Yun. So nandun po siya.
No,
Nandun siya eh.
the speaker did not attend those meetings. Senator Grace Poe was not allowed to attend most of those meetings. It ended up Saldico and Senate President Escudero were the ones that actually penciled in whatever needed to be penciled in at the end. And Karen, if you look at the budget, there are 20,000 DPWS projects, 20,000. So, it takes a lot of, real painstaking work to do it. But it was the 2 that actually finalized those things. And that is what I'm saying did not come to light until just recently. This is the situation everybody knew was the case as early as January. So now,
Congressman,
with regards
so
to the-
is it right to say that Zaldico and are you saying Chis Escudero are frankly to blame
Yes.
for the 2025 budget?
Yes. Because then the version that they sent back to the House already included all the insertions. Now that's a bicameral thing, but that's the step in the budget process where the Senate reviews what the House of Representatives does, and then gets back to them with the final version of the Appropriations Act, which they then forward to the President for approval. But then again, okay, so you signed it, you approved it. Yeah, 20,000 projects. No, I mean, I don't. I've seen the budget. No, I could not find for the life of me my own projects in my district. In the General Appropriations Bill, that's how complicated it is. So if you sign after you assume that the staff work has been done, I think it's a fair assumption that you had at least minimal care in addressing the issue. But the ones that really were responsible for putting it in, you should be held responsible also. And I think that's what also triggered, I guess, the reorganization in the Senate. No, because
So kung ganun ang nangyari, dapat magpaliwanag si Zaldico at si Chis Escudero dito, ha. Para naman fairness kay Martin Romualdez. Kasi nabanggit niya, ha, na hindi po si Martin Romualdez ang nag-finalize. Ang nag-finalize raw para mapasa na yun doon sa presidente ay yung si Zaldico at si Chis Escudero. Gaano ba ito katotoo? Dapat sagutin ito ni Chis Escudero at ni Zaldico. For now, si Chis Escudero lang ang makapag sagot dito kasi si Zaldico nandoon pa sa Amerika di ba? Di pa umuuwi.
No, now. But I understand that with the investigations coming up in the Senate, more information will come up about so many things. So I'm looking forward to the Blue Ribbon investigations there as well.
Now, Congressman Puno, Zaldico is still abroad, right? The perception is the speaker has tolerated Zaldico, right? And he could have called him to answer because there's a hearing in the House. He could have called him to answer about SunWest's contracts, insertions, but he didn't. Ano ang plano with Zaldico, sir? At the end of the day, he's been absent, right? For so long.
You know, the speaker does not participate in committee deliberations, no. So it's actually the job of the committee to invite, to summon, you know, to their hearings, no. So I leave that matter to the Public Accounts Committee. But what is the plan on Saldico? Well, you know, we in Congress we're saying that you know, he should be brought back forcibly if necessary.
Really?
Yes, I mean, initial reports were that he was in the U.S. Now, then I saw some posts where he is supposed to be in a house. He changed his name and things like that. No, but you know, in the U.S. we can extradite people, and what is important now is that cases need to be filed. No, we need to fight. Karen, this is not a legislative inquiry issue anymore.
Yeah,
I think this is a criminal thing. No, I mean. Cases have to be filed, and that's why the investigative commission is, you know, right on. Because you have Benji Magalong there, Mayor Magalong, who is a no-nonsense person. I know Babe Singson, Secretary Singson, who is also no-nonsense, you know. And the way that this commission has been formed looks like, they're really, you know, going to file some cases, you know. The technical know-how necessary is with Babe Singson, with Secretary Singson. The legal know-how is with Supreme Court Justice Andres Reyes. Investigative competence is with Mayor Magalong, and the finance, you know, these budgets, things, etc. We have a very respected accountant who is going to be doing the work there. So it's structured to really address this problem properly. I hope that we can get this commission up and running as soon as possible. And I really hope that the cases will be filed and people will be jailed. No? Now, in that regard, I think the House is now going to terminate its investigations. You know, there's this talk that, you know, we cannot investigate ourselves. And that's true. I agree with that too. So maybe it's good that they're now terminating their investigations and they will turn over all their information to the investigative commission. I hear also that that Senator Lacson will continue his Blue Ribbon investigations, and that's great. I think that, you know, then we will just take our cue from the Senate. If there's any legislative implication to everything that's going on, then we will yield to the Senate in terms of what reforms they want to institute in our whatever budget process or whatever it is, so that we can avoid this situation in the future.
Okay. Now, Congressman, let's go back to the leadership. There were talks in the past of a possible Albi Benitez. There was one Toby Tiangco. But Congressman Tiangco said he wouldn't want to be speaker because of his expose. But I wanted to ask you, why didn't the Albi Benitez work? And now it's Congressman Boji D. Ba't hindi natuloy yun at ito mukhang si Congressman Boji D na ang magiging speaker? Anong difference nung panahon na yon at ngayon?
Well, I don't know if Congressman Mayor Albi Benitez was able to sort out his issues with his Negros coalition there. I think even that's why it didn't have a flying start, because he had problems in his own province to begin with. No, maybe that's what stalled him. Now, in the case of Deputy Secretary Boji D, you know, si DS Boji D is a former governor. And you know, he's a really nice guy. I mean, you know, he was an effective governor, and he's a very pleasant person. He's kind to everybody. So I would like to say he's popular, no, within his circle. And he belongs to the party of the president. So I think it's important also now that maybe the speaker.
Diyan tayo problema. Parte ng president. Kasi pinili. Punta tayo doon sa kung sino ang gusto ng taong bayan. Hindi yung dahil malapit sa presidente, parte ng presidente. Diyan tayo magkakabulyaso eh. Hindi na nga mapagkatiwalaan ang administrasyon na ito. Tapos ang ilagay nyo dyan sa speakership, itong parte rin ng presidente. Di ba? Useless. Useless ito.
I thought about this also, that you know, better that party of the president. So,
wala bang akong ano dito kay Boji ha? Wala tayong ano, pero ang sa akin lang ba, delikadesa sa taong bayan.
that at least there is no communication distance between the national program as espoused by the president and his cabinet and the House, no? And I think that's what might happen. And in that regard, I think it's probably a good direction to go.
Okay, so will the speaker only be changed? Because now I would say NUP, you are with NUP, sir.
Yes.
And OGD's with NUP. And the irony, Kiko Braganza's with NUP, but let's talk about that later. He's with NUP, right? Okay, but
No, sorry, DS Bojidi is with PFP. That's the Partido
PFP.
Federal. Yeah, of the president. Yeah.
hindi siya member ng NUP.
No.
As I've read, no. Hindi yon.
No.
Hindi siya NUP.
I
Okay.
wish, pero no.
Okay, all right. So, there were talks that the reform shouldn't just be on top, but it should be top to bottom. So, ang tanong ko nito, will the APRO be changed? Will committee chairmanships be changed?
You know, the APRO has already been changed. No? I mean, our APRO chairperson now is Congresswoman.
So, ito lang yun let us wait and see kung talagang itong si Martin Romualdez ay talagang haharapin niya itong mga aligasyon laban sa kanya. Okay, because tama si Karen Davila. Hindi po enough na mag-step down o mag-resign ka bilang congressman o nag-step down ka bilang House Speaker, nag-resign ka bilang congressman at wala na. Hindi ka na mapapanagot doon sa issue ng flood control corruption. 'Di ba? Hindi ito enough. So, wait and see tayo kung talagang gagawin ni Martin Romualdez ang pagharap dito. If mapatunayan niya na wala siyang sala dito dahil ayon nga kay Congressman Puno, si Cheese Escudero at itong si Zaldico ang nag-finalize sa budget. In layman's term na yan ha. So dapat rin tanungin yung dalawa. Kasi tatlo Tatlo na ang pinaka pwede nating tanungin. Cheese Escudero, Zaldico, and Martin Romualdez. They have to face this issue. Para sa ganon, masatisfy ang taong bayan. Makita transparently kung sino talaga ang may kasalanan dito. 'Di ba? Yun lang ang sa akin. Pagkatapos dito, baka makalimutan ninyo sino ang nag-appoint kay Martin Romualdez in the first place. Bakit hinayaan lang na si Martin Romualdez ang maging House Speaker? Di ba? Because if you are the president and the leader of the nation, you have always the control. Pero alam mo, ninakawan na ng limpak-limpak na pera ang taong bayan, hinayaan mo lang. Within 3 years, wala kang ginawa. So ako po'y natatakot dito na pagkatapos na mapatalsik na ngayon itong si Martin Romualdez, baka ang susunod dito ay si Bongbong Marcos. Posible yan. Diba? Kasi bilang leader ng bansa, wala ka. You cannot control this kind of problem sa Pilipinas. So hindi ka karapat-dapat maging presidente. Diba? Saan ka ba nakakita ng presidente, leader ng bansa, na hindi mo nga ba control si Romualdez? Hindi mapatalsik kung hindi siya nag-step down o nag-resign. Wala kang ginawa. Buti pa si Martin Romualdez kaya ginawa pa niyang mag-resign. Pero ikaw, Bongbong Marcos, wala ka talaga. Hindi mo kaya, weak ka talaga. Hindi mo kaya magpa-resign o magpatalsik ng isang tao na sa tingin mo kaibigan mo o relative mo. Diyan kami hindi believe sa iyo . Wala ka talaga. Kaya sabi ko sa sarili ko, if lalaganap itong korupsyon sa Pilipinas at lahat ng nagkukorrupt ay mga kaalyado ni Bongbong Marcos, good luck na lang. Wala siya Kasi alam ni Bongbong Marcos na mga kaibigan niya, ang mga nangungurakot sa gobyerno, hinayaan lang niya kasi meron man siyang attitude na kaibigan ko ito, parang awkward ba o anong tawag dyan? O naiilang ka ba? Napatalsikin kasi kaibigan mo. Hindi mo kaya Kaya tuloy ako, naalala ko yung sinabi ni former President Duterte sa mga media nung tinanong siya, if hindi mo kayang gumurgor ng tao, wag ka na lang magpresidente. Yan ang sabi niya kay sinabihan niya si Marrojas dyan. Kung ikaw Marrojas, kung hindi ka marunong, kung hindi mo kayang gumurgor ng tao, wag ka na lang magpresidente because ang isang presidente, dapat ka katakutan. Kasi kung hindi ka kinatatakutan, wala. Ito yung mangyari. Aabusuhin ka ng mga kaibigan mo. Sila yung mangungurap. Kasi kampante sila na, kaibigan namin yung presidente. Mangungurap lang kami. At the end of the day, i-ignore lang kami sa presidente. Hindi naman kami takot. No. Sa time po ni former President Duterte, hindi ganun Natatakot lahat mag-corrupt dahil magagalit si Tatay Digong. Wala siyang pakialam, relative ba niya, kaibigan ba niya, dapat maparusahan ka at mapakulong ka. Yan ang kaibahan ni Bongbong Marcos at nitong si former President Duterte. Tapos ngayon, si former President pa Duterte pa yung dinala nyo sa The Hague. Tangina ninyo. Sana hindi mangyari yung nangyari kay Tatay Digong sa inyo. Yun lang ang masasabi ko yan Mag-comment, mag-react kayo sa mga nangyayari. Anong masasabi nyo? Leave your comments at usap-usap tayo sa comment section. Do not forget, guys, tulungan po natin na mag-like and share itong video na ito para kakalat ito at marami po ang makaalam sa katotohanan na nangyayari po. Hindi po kasi fake news to Nagre-react tayo sa tunay na balita, mainstream media. Interview ito. Hindi yan fake news. Kagaya ng ibang mga sangkay dyan. Na, revelation. Hindi ko alam kung, ang daming mga vloggers ngayon na walang katibayan sa kanilang mga pinagbabalita. Balita lang silang balita. Ang mga audience naman nila para mga uto-uto. Napaniwala naman nila. So, ayan sa mga bago pa lang dito sa aking channel sa Donmar TV, consider na i-subscribe po ninyo if this is your first time. If nagustuhan nyo ang ating vlog, subscribe na po kayo para updated kayo lagi sa ating mga balita. Okay? So, see you in my next video. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. And God save the Philippines.